Coach, this is your second year in Division One hockey. What are you looking forward to in this upcoming season?
Well, we're looking forward to just playing our really what we're celebrating as our first full year. Last year was a hybrid year, and it was a great introductory year in Division One hockey. But this year, with being at our first full schedule, just the schedule that we're playing. We're playing a really tough schedule with. The preseason rankings came out today. 7 of the top 15 teams in the country. 3 of last year's Frozen Four finalists. Half of last year's tournament field, 5 of last year's 6 conference champions. So figuring out what it's going to take to get to that level with a young, inexperienced group, but hungry group is going to be a lot of fun.
With the people that redshirted last year, the incoming players, can you quantify how much better this team is just on paper than what you had last year?
Yeah, there's really no comparison, Jeff. Last year our kids they gave it everything they had. We really ran out of gas that second half with all the travel, and then really half our team was our club guys that just weren't used to the grind of NCAA competition. So having those 5 red shirts that were here last year and helped us kind of mold and sculpt a culture that we're proud of right now and still building on. And then certainly our new first really good full freshman recruiting class that we think will contribute right away. 13 new players, 14 if you can include Robbie Belargian from Boston University. So completely different team, and we expect to be competitive.
Coach, you mentioned some of the new recruits coming in, and obviously you have the brothers Brinson and Steen. Is there any way that you plan to kind of use their brotherhood and their experience together, maybe even, of course they're at different positions, but maybe on a power play unit or a PK or something like that?
Yeah, one's a forward, one's a D, so it's tough to really match those guys up. I think they both have the natural instinct and the mindset to be really good on the penalty kill. Steen's probably not quite at the power play level with us yet as a freshman. Brinson's a special talent. He's got a really good opportunity here to get a lot of playing time as a young freshman, and potentially be the first drafted player straight out of ASU. We thought he'd probably get drafted last year, and he didn't for some reason. But with all the ice time and his natural ability, that's still definitely on the table for him. So those are 2 kids that again, just really they're culture builders. They're great in the room. They're here to play hockey and get an education and make this program into something great, and you can see it by their approach every day.
Also, just wanted to ask you about just kind of what went into the decision to name the captains that you named, especially Dylan Holman. Just why and why him specifically?
Sure. Holsey was here last year, and his approach as a red shirt, not playing in games, how much stronger he got, how he led in practice. He was probably from start to finish the best player in practice every day. And it's tough when there's no light at the end of the tunnel as far as game time and minutes in games, with none of those red shirts had last year. To be the best guy in practice every day, you got to be dialed in. And that kid brings it every day. He went to UMass Lowell, projected to get a lot of minutes as a freshman, and he got injured in his first exhibition game there, and just never bounced back, and was just buried on a really good team and a really good program, and came here for a fresh start, and he's made the most of it in every way, and the guys just take to him. He leads by example. He's a 4.0 student, and he's doing an incredible job so far.
And lastly, this is kind of the second year in a row where essentially your home opener is at Gila River Arena. What does it mean to the team and for your program to play on that stage specifically?
Well, it's cool. It's really good, and we have to work hard with the Coyotes and our marketing people to make sure that we pack the place like we did last year for that opener. So we want it as full as we can possibly get it. It's a big place, but to play on that stage and then the Sunday game against Air Force, having it on national TV and the Pac-12 network will be great. So we're excited about that. We're not focused on that right now. We're focused on Notre Dame, though.
Coach, kind of along those lines, I know the school kind of has plans to get a new arena in place within 2 years or so. Can you just talk about what that would mean to you guys to have a larger place to play? And is that something you maybe even talk about with potential new recruits?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this building this program from top to bottom in every way is a process. And part of the process for us right now is getting through these first couple of years, playing at Oceanside and playing out in Glendale. We're very fortunate to have an NHL franchise here locally that will share their venue with us and supports what we're doing and what we're building. So I think our interim solution, while we're waiting on finalizing what we're going to do moving forward here on campus from an arena solution standpoint, our interim solution is better than some Division I programs' permanent solution. We get to play in an NHL arena and partner with an NHL franchise in that regard. So we don't take that for granted, and our guys really like it too. So we're excited about it.
Coach, with the acquisition of Joey Decord, how do you plan on using him with Rylan Pashovitz and Robert Levin?
Yeah, it's a good question. They all three of those guys look really good right now. So we have our hands full. It'll sort itself out. Joey's as advertised. He was drafted for a reason by Ottawa, and he's a tremendous talent. He's a great athlete. He was captain of his soccer team in high school and his tennis team, and he can skate so well. He's like a hockey player that plays goalie, is what I call him, because he plays the puck so well and moves so well. Just a great athlete. And with Rob, I would say right now Rob probably looks better than he's looked at any point in the 4 years that I've coached him. In Rob's defense last year, moving up such a high level from ACHA to NCAA, he spent last summer rehabbing a torn ACL, not training to be successful over the season. He spent it rehabbing to get healthy, where this summer he trained. He's prepared to help us win and play at this level, and you can see it. And Pash of late in practice has really come on and started playing well. So we love our depth at that position. 3 great options, 3 great kids. They all support each other, and we'll see how it plays out.
Coach, so between having the Coyotes here and then like an event like the World Cup of Hockey going on, you feel like that the way that the game has grown here in the short time that you guys have had what you called in the past like a startup D1 program. Do you feel like that can be like an impact, a positive impact for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, sure, absolutely. The World Cups, I think first and foremost, it's nice to have, big time hockey on ESPN again. I think that's a step in the right direction to grow the game, nationally, really, and especially in markets like this, to have it back on ESPN like it was when I was a kid is awesome. To hear that intro music that you hear growing up, it's awesome. So, hopefully that's the start of something with that. But it's good with our guys because we have such a good international flavor with a Russian, a kid from Sweden, and then a bunch of Canadians. And they've razzed our American guys pretty good for the results in the World Cup. So, yeah, it's great for hockey.
Coach, like you said, you're in the infancy of the program. How are the younger hockey players around North America reacting to ASU having a hockey program? Very
well. I mean, if you look at our recruiting, I think in our first full season to have 3 drafted players on our roster, and then obviously another one already signed and committed for next year, is tremendous. And then we're probably looking at potentially Brinson being drafted out of ASU. So, recruiting's going great. I think we said when we announced that we were going to exploit the fact that we're the most unique college hockey experience in the country, and we are. It's not for everybody. It's not for every kid out there. There's kids out there that grow up dreaming of playing for those traditional schools, and that's okay. But our mantra here is be the tradition, and kids have an opportunity to come here and set a standard and do something really special at a place like Arizona State. And I would say the majority of them are buying into that.
You didn't get to have Louis Rowe last year, but I know what you thought he could bring to the table. So could you talk a little bit about him and just his size and physicality? And then you mentioned the Russian player. Can you just go into a little more detail about him too?
Yeah, that was a huge loss for us last year because we planned on having Louis. He wasn't a planned redshirt. He's a great student, but there was an NCAA issue his eligibility and transfer classes. It's a long story, but it was a complete kind of freak oversight by multiple people, and he stuck it out and he redshirted. And 6'6", 240 pounds. He's an alternate captain. He's a leader. He's intense. He's impossible to handle down low. He went to the Winnipeg Jets development camp over the summer, and in 2 games he had 3 goals and an assist. So I think that speaks volumes to his potential. Nobody works harder. So his leadership and his approach and expecting and demanding the best out of his teammates. He's a true extension of our coaching staff. So he's going to be huge for us. And then Georgi Gordetsky, our Russian freshman, tremendously skilled. He does something in practice every day that makes everybody just kind of bat their eyes, and he's going to add skill to our forward core that we didn't have last year. So really excited about him and multiple other guys too. Yep, thanks.